guys, this is gonna be a story time on how I quit my job, but yeah, I'm still here. So I work at a hotel, right? I work at a hotel. My hotel seemed to have been falling apart when I first got there. It wasn't the best management per se. My old front desk supervisor, who used to be my old general manager, was terrible. Okay, I'm so sorry, but she was terrible. It just seemed very strange. Let's do a timeline, okay? I've been at this job for I think 6 months. I started in July of 2025. I'm acting like we've been in 2026 for mad long, but we haven't. I started in July of 2025. I had just come back from, I think, Aruba it was. Yeah, just come back from Aruba. I was so excited to start this job. My mom wanted me to have this job. My dad wanted me to have this job because they love traveling, and they were so excited about getting the opportunity to have $40 as their, what is it called, hotel rate, right? Okay, so I was like, cool. It can't be that hard to be a front desk agent at a hotel. Like, I'm gonna be fine. Went to the interview. Literally, homegirl said, I don't feel like doing interviews no more, and you seem pretty great, so I think I'm just gonna hire you. And you know, me just wanting a job, I was like, okay, great. And plus it pays 18, so I'm like, okay. My old job paid $15.50. That wasn't enough, because when I get bored I start to buy things. That wasn't enough. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, she's asking me questions, whatever. She was like, okay, you're hired, so I just need you to come back with all your paperwork and stuff, and then we'll get you ready. Like, okay, cool, great, let's do this then. So went into my paperwork. I start training. Like every job, it's behind the computer. Like, I'm just training for hours and hours, like bored out my mind, using my phone, watching videos, whatever. I finally get done. She's like, okay, we're gonna put you in the front to see how you do, and then, you know, have someone watch you, whatever. I'm going at the front. I'm obviously good at the front because it's not that hard to have a hotel job, not that hard to work at a hotel. So I'm doing well. You know, I'm meeting my coworker. Got really close with one of my coworkers. You know, she was great. I literally loved her. She was my favorite coworker. Then out of nowhere, she leaves. But before that, right, when I first started, there was a point where it was like, okay, like, you know, if the hotel's slow, like, you don't have to come in. Like, my manager will text you and she'll be like, oh, you know, it's kind of slow, I know you'll be bored, you don't have to come in. So I'll be like, okay, great. I used to love those days. I used to live for those days. So right, there was one time I'm working, you know, whatever, and my general manager at the time, they were like, oh, can you work tomorrow morning? Meanwhile, I had that day off. Can you work tomorrow morning? Like, we need you. Like, can you work tomorrow morning? I'm like, okay, cool. There was already someone for the morning that next day, but I was like, okay, you know, they kind of like to have 2 people at the desk, so it's fine. Why did I come in? There's nobody there but me. Meanwhile, it was 6:30 in the morning. I can't wake up that early. I was running a little late, and I texted the person who was gonna be at the front already. I was like, yo, like, you know, I'm gonna be a little late, just to let you know. I get there, it's empty. She texted back talking about something. Oh, my manager, he was like, the manager told me I didn't have to come in today. I said, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just be at work, meanwhile it's my day off, but whatever. Then time goes by, my favorite coworker dips. She leaves. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, why did she just leave like this? Then my other coworker was like, oh yeah, she got tired of the manager. Like, she was having like this little thing that she had going on, so she left. I was like, oh, bumbo card. But okay, we just keep going. We keep going on. Then school starts to come around. College starts to come around. The night before college starts. The night before my first class. Meanwhile, my first class was in Fall River. The night before my first class. It's about like 10:45, which is a time that our auditor is supposed to come in. It was 10:45, and I'm like, okay, the auditor hasn't really come in yet, but I've noticed that they start to come in at like 11, which they still do, which doesn't actually make sense, but she'll come in at 11, it's fine. 11 hit, they're not here. I'm like, okay, wait 10 minutes, give her a little grace period. 11:20, she's still not here. I said, okay. Now I'm starting to get angry, frustrated, and you know, so I'm like, okay, let me call my manager. Call my manager, she doesn't answer. Okay, cool. My manager again, she doesn't answer. Call the audit person, she doesn't answer. Call her again about 3-4 times, she don't answer. So I'm like, okay, now I'm stressed out because no one's answering. 1, 2, I need to go home so I can get sleep to go to this class tomorrow. So I go over, I'm heated, by the way. I'm heated, I'm pissed. I can't handle my emotions when I'm mad, okay? My instinct is to cry, and guess what I did? I cried. But the thing is, I was still new. Everybody knew me, but I was still new. So I go over to my bartender, and the chef was over there too, and our events person. I'm like, okay guys, meanwhile I can't even get it out. I'm like, guys, nobody's here. Meanwhile, my bartender's damn near deaf. Love my bartender, but he's damn near deaf, so he literally goes like this. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to speak, but you doing that's not making it better for either of us, actually. So I said, there's no one here. I try to call Nancy, I try to call the auditor, no one's picking up, no one's answering, and I'm heated and I'm frustrated, and I'm bawling my eyes out, literally. I cannot breathe, I cannot do anything, I'm dying. So like, okay, my bartender, he went into like dad mode or something, I don't know what he went to. He was like, he told my events coordinator, he was like, you call Nancy and I'm gonna make sure everything's okay. You call Nancy, I'm gonna call Nancy's my front office manager, sorry about that, and you call Brianna, who's my general manager. He was like, we're gonna get this sorted out. I'm like, okay. I'm panting a little bit around our damn bar, and then I go back because I realized there's too many people and they all see me crying and I don't like that. So I went back to the front office. We have a little back office, so I went back there, sat down, tried to cool myself down. I'm on the phone with my boyfriend literally the whole time, and he's like, calm down, take some deep breaths, like, you know, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna get home, okay. My events coordinator come back, he's like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, trying. He's like, okay, do you need anything? I said a Shirley Temple would be really nice right now. He's like, okay, and I got my little Shirley Temple, and I was so happy because I ain't never got a drink from over there, and I'm kind of glad. And I'm actually, now thinking about it, I really need to get more Shirley Temples because I get it for free. So let me get a Shirley Temple, please. But I'm waiting. My manager calls me. She's like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I can't believe this happened. Like, this is so unacceptable. This is insane. Like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Who is coming? Like, I don't really care about what you're talking about. I need to go home. I want to go home. Who is coming to relieve me? Because I don't got time for this. Like, who's coming? And she was like, I'm gonna be there soon, don't worry. I'm like, okay. We hung up. It was probably 11:45 at that time. I'm like, okay. I'm waiting till 12, nobody. 12:10, nobody. 12:20, nobody. 12:35 is when my manager gallops into the damn hotel, into the back office to tell me she's sorry. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. I need to go home. I don't care that you're sorry. I don't care that this won't happen again. I don't care that she's fired. I don't care about none of that. Let me go. Okay. Next day hit. I think I went in that day. Did I went in that day or I went in the next day? They were like, yeah, she was fired, like, or she was let go. Like, we can't have that in here no more. Like, that was so unacceptable and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I don't really care. I didn't really know her, so I don't care. But I should have cared because during the time that she was gone, it was hell for me. And let me tell you why it was hell for me. Because my manager didn't like to hire people. Let me explain. She would have interviews on top of interviews on top of interviews, never hired anybody. Like, literally about 2 weeks having interviews and hired not one single person. I literally worked 11 days in a row. She took my days off away for me to work and help out because she just didn't have the capacity to hire people. Can you imagine that? You would have quit after that, wouldn't you? But I didn't. Literally everybody, my mom, my boyfriend, they knew how stressed I was literally every single day. I cried, I think, about 3 days straight because I was so exhausted and so overworked, literally just from that. I was like, okay, I don't like this place no more. Like, after that, I hated the place. Then we go by, we get an auditor. Met her one time, and the one time I met her, she had AirPods in. She was on the phone with somebody. She was in this little old laptop. You only have a whole desk computer. I was like, okay. Next day she was gone, and it was because she kept coming in late. I was like, okay, great. We don't have an auditor. So we keep going on and on, still trying to find people. We're going on and on. Then come to like October-ish, October, November, we get 2 new people, a guy and a girl. And I don't really want to use names, so I'm not finna use names because that's kind of out there. And I don't know if they'll ever find this, but if they do, we get 2 new people. They're cool, you know? They were good at the start, then they fucked up. Then it went downhill. Again, like, we weren't even at the top of the hill. We were like in the middle, and we like stopped for a little bit, and then it just kept going down. Now, first Friday that they both work, homegirl calls out. We're like, okay, cool. You know, people call out. It's not that bad. Next Friday, she calls out again. We're like, all right, it's only on Fridays. Why are you calling out only on Fridays? Next Friday, 3rd Friday in a row, calls out. And I'm like, this bitch better be joking because why are you calling out on a Friday? Meanwhile, she worked 2:30 to 11. Why are you calling out on a Friday? But 4th Friday, she worked 6:30 to 3 and she was there happily. Why are you being like this? Why are you acting like you can't do a second shift on a Friday? And my manager, you know, as great as she is, she you just let it happen? This is a new manager. My old front office manager went to GM at this time, general manager. Why did my new manager let this go on for so long? Meanwhile, she's complaining to me about her, about how she's always calling out on a Friday. Wouldn't you think to fire homegirl? Like, I don't understand. It's truly deeply not that difficult. I would have said you're fired. Why do you keep calling out on a Friday? Meanwhile, this girl told literally everybody but our manager that she does travel cheer. First of all, what is travel cheer? Beats me, I don't know. But there's no reason as to why you need to call out every Friday that you work a second shift. That don't make sense. I'm like, okay. Then she went as far as to call out 5th Friday and say she got in a car accident. Here's where it gets confusing, because she said she got in a car accident on the way to work. Cool. Then one of our sales representatives lives in her neighborhood. She goes to tell my manager and say the BMW is perfectly fine. The girl did not get in no car accident. Why are you lying that deep? You could have just said you're sick. You could have said you had a family emergency. You could have said someone was in the hospital. Like a car accident. That was just dumb thinking. Like, I don't know. She wasn't the brightest. And why did we lie about that? Like, I don't know. It's just, the job's so strange. Like, we lose people left and right. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not finna sit here and keep going at this job and we lose people literally left and right and back left and back right and backwards and forwards and backwards. I can't do that. That's too much stress on me, because then I'm gonna be the most reliable person and y'all just gonna keep pulling me in for shifts and keep calling me in talking about something. Can you work? No, I can't. So I was like, you know what? Towards like the end of November, I was like, okay, honestly, I'm really thinking about leaving. Like, I can't do this. They're too much. They're literally mind-boggling. They're stress-inducing. Like, I don't know what to do, right? Talk to my mom, because my mom's the person I always go to. And she's like, you know what? Just quit. I don't know. Like, you can find another job. You really don't need a job. Like, just quit. You'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, cool. I give my 2 weeks notice, I think on December 5th or 6th or something like that. 2 weeks notice. My last day was supposed to be Friday, December 26th. You know, I worked the weeks, whatever. And then I took off the weekend before Christmas because I went to go see Avatar 3. I was going to see Avatar 3. Then I wanted the next day off just because I didn't want to have to go into work. And I just wanted the weekend off because I've never had the weekend off. Meanwhile, the new people would get the weekend off. And it just didn't make sense. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to take 4 days off just because. Cool. Because I've always been petty and had in the back of my mind, like, I'm going to take the days I have off because y'all decided to take my days in the beginning because y'all needed help. No. So I took my 4 days off. I was glad. Then Christmas week comes. Like, okay, cool. This is my last week. I'm going to finally be done. I was off Christmas. I come in Friday, December 26th. My manager sees me. I come in. My manager comes in. Oh, she's like, you know, hello, whatever. And then, you know, she's like, what are you going to do with this new free time? And I'm like, I don't know, sleep, because at this job I don't really get sleep. And she was like, yeah, you know, that's fair. I wish I could do that right now. And I'm like, and I just walked away. I don't know. I can't do small talk. And then apparently the old front desk supervisor comes in. So I guess he was trying to get the job back because he didn't like our old front office manager. I didn't even tell you. Our freaking old front office manager, Nancy, who I said was freaking, she got promoted to general manager. She was fucking terrible at general manager. Then she stepped down to be front desk supervisor. We never seen her since. That was a Friday in, I think, November or like late December, late October. Never seen her since. Besides the point, he wanted to come back because he didn't like Nancy and he couldn't work for Nancy, and he left. And he wanted to come back since he knew she was gone. He was like, you know, I was trying to look at the auditor, but I guess the auditor wasn't open on Indeed, and I was trying to look for agent, but that wasn't open on Indeed. And then my manager turns to me and she goes, Nishi, would you come back to be an auditor? I said, absolutely fucking not. What? First of all, audit, I have to be in the hotel by myself. I'm not being in no damn hotel by myself with a whole bunch of random strangers who have seen me since 10:45 p.m. and have to see me until 7 in the morning. You don't know what could happen in between those hours. No. Then she's like, yeah, I understand that. And I was like, yeah, I hope so, because I'm a girl and I'm not gonna be sitting here in a dark, empty hotel to do what? No, the old front office supervisor and my manager are talking, whatever. And then I go to the back. My manager follows me and she's like, would you come back? Like, is there anything we can do to make you stay? And I was like, probably not, because I don't like the people. Like, the people make it seem like the job is really so difficult, and it's deeply not. And I just can't, like, no, I can't handle just guests in general. Like, these guests think everything's about them and they're so entitled. I know, I don't really think there is anything that you could do. And she was like, but what if I made you like an on-call type thing? And I was like, you know what, let me ask my mom. Text my mom. She was like, honestly, that would be perfect, because, you know, you would be on call and they would only call you when you need to come in, and, you know, and you still have a job. So I'm like, you know, that does sound pretty nice. So to my manager, I was like, yeah, I can do an on-call type thing. She was like, okay, let me see what I can do. Then, you know, I go back to the front. She's lazy as hell. She calls me from the hotel phone. Meanwhile, she's in the back and I'm in the front. Whatever. She calls me. She was like, you do Mondays and Wednesdays and Saturday morning. I said, Saturday morning? I don't know about Saturday morning. I can do Monday and Wednesday. And she was like, okay, let me see what I can do. In the back of my head, I was like, first of all, on call is supposed to be you text me to say when you need me, not for me to have 2 days that I have to come in. That's not what on call is. So you lied to me, and that's how we got stuck here today, right? So cool. She's okay. Let me ask the general manager, because, you know, I gotta see if it's good with her. Blah blah blah. Me and my mom both knew that they were not gonna let me go. They were trying to do everything humanly possible to keep me there. Then I was off literally all last week. Today's the 7th. I was off all last week. You know, I'm enjoying it because I don't have to work, I don't have to do school, I don't have to go to classes, I don't have to do nothing. So I'm enjoying it, enjoying my life. Why am I getting texts from my manager, from literal co-workers, even though I have nobody's number saved except for my manager? I'm getting texts talking about can you cover my shift? I'm sick. No. I didn't text from my manager, oh, can you come in because so-and-so sick, and, you know, when did it? No. No, not at all. I know I said I'd be on call, but wait till I actually start and come back for me to be on call. Right now, no. As much as the money would have been great, I want a break from all of y'all, because I don't like none of y'all. But I play a facade, you know, I play the role. But do I like any of y'all? No. Then I come back today, actually. Work today, 6:30 to 1, which was great. Come back and everybody's happy to see me. Everybody's happy, glad, whatever to see me. I'm just like, you know, I really wish that I left. But money's money, whatever. The only reason really why I stayed is because I didn't feel like finding another job, and I was looking while I was still there, and it's kind of hard. So I was like, you know what, if I can do however many days and however much they need me and still get paid, I'll be fine. But unfortunately, that's the story time of how I literally put my 2 weeks in and I still work there. But love you guys so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notification. Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notification bell so you can see every time I post. This is the second video of the 12 video in 3 week challenge, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And I hate this job, but stay employed, get your money up, not your funny up. And I love y'all so much, and peace out.